Back to another Flutter tutorial. In this video, let's keep building our rent-a-car app. For today's video, we'll focus on building my account page. For that, let's learn how to work with tabs in Flutter. We already have a video in our YouTube channel where you can learn all the concepts that you need in depth to build tabs in Flutter. Click on the card that you see on the screen right here, or you can get the link on the description below. To follow the same design pattern, we'll implement our tabs the same way as we had for this widget right here. So when a user select the option, we'll add a background color and then make the text inside of this container white. So for now, we have this page right here, my account tab. We just displaying my account page in the middle of the page. So to make this widget or this page dynamic and the layout to be displaying the current tab selection, let's change this class to be a stateful widget. So type STL and select the option stateful widget. Change the name to be my account page. And here, let's return a scaffolding widget. And then call the body property. And then here, for the body, we'll have a column widget. Call the children property. So inside of this column widget, I want the first section to be a section about the current user information. And then after that, we'll have our tab. So right here, we'll have the tab bar widget. And then the tab bar view widget. So the tab bar widget and the tab bar view widget are the two widgets required to create tabs in Flutter. The tab bar widget is where we'll define our option for each tab, and then on the tab bar view widget, we'll have each content display according to each tab. So first of all, to create this section, let's call a container widget. Then let's add a margin property called the Unselected.all, and the value will be 16 pixel. After that, you can call the child, and this can be a row widget. Call the children property. Here we'll have two sections. On the left side, we'll have the current user thumbnail, and then on the right side we have the current user name and email information. So for the thumbnail, you could use a container widget and then call the decoration property and add an image. But here you can also use this widget right here, circle avatar. So this widget allows you to specify an image as a background image. Also, you can add an image as a foreground image. You have these two callback methods, also the background color and the child property. We'll use, for this video, let's use the background image and also the radius. This property is responsible to define the width and the height of this circle avatar. So first, let's call the background image. Right here, we can call the assets image provider, and here we provide the path to our image. Our image is inside of assets /image /car underscore logo dot jpg. And then provide the radius, let's say 35 for the radius. So after that, you can have right here a size box widget. We can provide the width, let's say 20 for the size, give it a comma. In here we can have an expanded widget, call expanded widget, and then for the child we can have right here a row widget. So call the children again, and then expanded widget again. For the child, this will be a column widget, and inside of this column widget, let's add two text widget. Make it a constant text right here. For now, we're just using these placeholders as for the image and also for the information about the user, but later on, as we get in the data from the web service, we'll change all this information right here. So call right here dev design duo at gmail.com, and then copy, add a comma right here and paste it. So right here, the main axis alignment will be main axis alignment dot start, and then for the cross axis alignment, call the cross axis alignment dot stretch. So after this expanded widget, add a comma right here. As you can see, inside of this row, we'll have the first section, try to be as big as possible. After that, we can call an icon button right here. So provide an anonymous function for this callback, and here you can call icons, and then icons dot edit. Right here we can add logic to edit user information. So let's apply some styles to it. You can call the name right here of this class, button icon dot, and then call this style from property. So right here we provide the side, so this will be take a border side, and then for the color you can use colors dot gray, and then for the weight of this border, so call the weight property 0.1 for the weight. So foreground color, you can use colors dot black. So with all this in place, we have defined our first section. So let's view it right here. As you can see, we have the thumbnail, the user information. So right here, this will be just the username, and then the icon right here for edit. So after that, after this first section, we'll call our TabBar widget. So call right here the TabBar widget, and here we need to provide a list of tabs. So make sure you add a comma after this container widget right here, so to remove this error. You can minimize it. Come right here. If you hover over it, you will see we have the first property which is required, a list of widgets. So you can call right here directly, you can call the tab widget. If you hover over it, you will see you provide a text, an icon, and then icon margin and height and a child. For us, we just need this text, so call this text right here, and this first option will be payments. Give it a comma, and then you can copy and call the second tab, which is the settings. So right here, select each one and wrap with a container. We want to apply some styles to this container, so you can call decoration, and then call the box decoration, and then let's first of all provide the border radius. This will take border radius.all with a value of 9.0. Give it a comma, and then we can provide the color. So like I said, we want to create this effect right here. So for the color, we need to select the current selected tab and display the color. So for that, I will create a new variable right here. This will be late. Type will be int, and let's make it private. So call this selected. index, add a semicolon. So you can copy this property right here, paste it here. If this is equal to 0, which means this is the first tab inside of our TabBar widget, do a question mark, and then you can use colors dot black. Otherwise, you can use colors dot transparent. So just copy. First of all, wrap this tab with a container, and then let's also provide the weight right here. Double dot infinity for the weight, and then copy all these properties and then paste it right here. So this will be tab for payments, and this one will be tabs for settings. This will be the index 1. So first item inside of the list is payments, the second one is settings. So you can minimize these two tabs right here, add a comma right here. So now we need to call the TabBar view. Call the TabBar view widget right here, and this will expect a children. So for this children property right here, what I like to do, instead of providing a list this way, what I will do is create a new variable of type list of widgets. So late list, and then constrain it to be a widget, and then page list. This will be equal to initially to an empty list. So you can also add a keyword final right here, then call right here this page list and paste it right here. So with that, we have defined all the widgets to create our tabs in Flutter. But now we need a way to connect this TabBar widget with this TabBar view widget in Flutter. So basically you have two ways. One way is to wrap this scaffolding widget with a default TabController widget. The other option is to use TabController. If you hover over these two widgets, you will see we have this property right here, controller. This will take a TabController. The same way as this side of this tab bar, we have this controller, which is take this TabBar controller. So let's define this variable TabBar controller. So also late TabController, call this private TabController, and then let's do an override of the init state, and also let's do an override of this dispose method. So inside of this init state, we'll initialize all these variables right here. So the first one is the TabBar. This will be equal to TabBar controller. Here we need to provide how many tabs we'll have. So do we need to provide the value for the length, and now then desynchronization. So to be able to use desynchronization, you can come right here, use the keyword wait, and then use single ticket provider state mixing. So to call it right here, you just use this keyword this, and then for the length, we can call our list of pages before this tab controller right here, and then let's initialize this list. So come right here, you can do dot dot add, and then dot dot add again. Let's add two options for our page list. This one we already know, it's the settings page. For this one, we need to create a new widget or a new page for it. So come right here, let's create right here inside of this page a new file. So call this payment underscore method underscore page dot dart. Let's use a stateless widget for now. Change the name to be payment method, and here you can come in the settings page and then copy the scaffolding widget, replace it right here, and then change the text to be payments. payments method page. So save everything. Now let's call this new page right here. So page payment page. So now you can do right here page dot and just call this length property right here. So add a semicolon here, add a semicolon here. So if you hover over this tab controller, you see we'll also have this property animation duration, and this will take this class right here duration. So you can come right here, add a comma, and then call animation duration. This will take the duration class, and here you can specify the days, the hours, the minutes, the seconds, the milliseconds, and the microseconds. So let's call it right here the seconds, and let's say this animation will take 1 second to do a transition between one page and another. So now the only thing left to do is come right here, and now let's provide this first index. Let's give it a value to it. So select index will be our tab controller dot and then call this index property. So this index property is the selected tab by default. Right here, this will give us the value of 1. And then to keep it updated, we can come right here. Let's call our tab controller, and then let's add an event listener to it. So call this method edit listener, and then this method will expect an anonymous function. So call anonymous function inside of it. Then we can call inside of this anonymous function the set state method, and then do this selected index will be equal to our tab controller dot the index. So this way we'll keep track of the selected index. So every time we change the tabs, this method will be rerun, and this method right here will update this selected index. So now inside of this dispose, you can do after this super.dispose tab controller dot the dispose method. So this will free the resource when we are not using this page, my account page right here. So with all this in place, now you just have to call right here inside of your tab, you call the controller and you provide your tab controller variable the same way we paste right here inside of this TabBar view widget. Just paste it, save everything. Let's format our document, reload your app. So get started. Let's go to this page, and you can see right here we added a tab, but we have a problem right here. So to solve this problem, as you can see, this tab view widget is overflowing this first container right here. So come here and then wrap with this expanded widget. So this will be flexed. It will be as big as possible, but it won't overflow the remaining containers right here. So just save it, and you can see the first section is the current user information, and now we have our tab displaying right here. So now let's apply more styling to this tab. So let's focus our attention right here inside of this tab. So the first thing I want to do is wrap it with a widget, and here I will call the theme widget. So this theme widget is responsible to override or to add a theme to a widget. You can also apply a global theme, but don't worry about themes for now. I just want to customize this tab container. We'll have a video where you will learn how to create global theme and also how to override global theme to a specific widget as we're doing right here. So here call the data, and then call this theme data dot, and then you call the off. Actually we call just theme off, and then provide the context and do dot and then copy with method, and here we'll do an override of a few properties for our tab bar. So I don't want to this ripple effect as you see right here, and also this selected index. So for that, let's call this splash color. Let's use colors dot transparent. So let's remove the splash color, add a comma, and then call this highlight color. This will be equal to our color dot transparent. After that, call the hover color, paste this color dot transparent, and then splash factor. This will be no splash dot splash factor. And then inside of this tab, let's do some overrider. The first thing I want to override is the indicator color. This will be equal to our color.transparent, and then divider color. This will be equal to our color.transparent, and then splash border radius. This value will be null. Overlay color, the value will be null. And then for the label color, let's do colors dot white. So with all this in place, save it, and here we have the desired layout. As you can see, we don't have the ripple effect, and now our tab is behaving the same way as we have for this widget right here for the categories. So as you can see, we are following the same designs. So now let's add some animation to this transition for tabs. So you can minimize everything right here. Let's go inside of this init state. After this defining the selected index, we can call this TabController and do a dot, and then use this method animate to. If you hover over it, you will see the first property is this index value. So right here we can call our selected index, give it a comma, and then you can call this duration call. Now let's call the microsecond, and let's say 500, give it a comma after it, and then call the curve, and this is for the animation. So you can call curves dot, and you can play around with these properties. For us, let's use this value right here, easy in and out, add a semicolon, save everything. So let's go inside of this payment method. After the body property right here, call this floating action button. This will add a floating action button for us. So call the floating action button, and then we need to define this callback method. After that, give a comma, and then call the child property. This can be an icon widget, and then do icons dot edge. So besides these two properties, you can do foreground color. This will be colors dot white, and then background color, you can do colors dot black, and then we can also change the shape. Let's use this class right here, circle border, and this will make this floating action button rodent. So now come right here, register new payment method page. So save everything. Let's reload our app, get started. Let's go inside of our tabs, as you can see right here. So now when you click on this settings page, you will see this animation between the contents. You can also click on it, and this will do the transition for you. So as you can see, it's not that hard to work with tabs in Flutter. We just need these two widgets, the TabBar widget and also the TabBar view widget, and then a way to connect these two widgets. You can use right here the TabBar, or you can also wrap the scaffolding widget with default TabBar widget controller. So this is it for this video. If you find this video useful, give a like, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notification when new videos are coming out. In the next video, let's focus in this payment method page. Let's create right here for the body. Let's create a list view widget, and let's place two placeholders for the payment method cards. This is it. See you on the next one.